Right now, your brain is operating on outdated software, constantly buffering from notifications, anxiety, and distraction. It feels like running a modern high-definition game on hardware from 2 decades ago. The fan screams, the system lags, and everything is a frustrating, glitchy mess. What if you could stop patching these daily errors and install a complete foundational upgrade? One that engineers deep, sustainable calm, sharpens your focus to a laser point, and fundamentally rewrites your code to be unfazable under any load. That upgrade is not a new subscription service or a fleeting trend. It's a 2,000-year-old psychological protocol, stress-tested in the most brutal conditions imaginable, called Stoicism. And today, you're not just getting a tutorial, you're receiving the complete master installer for your mind. This is the full, unabridged guide to compiling a soul of granite and a spirit of unassailable peace. Modern life doesn't just feel like a mental battlefield. It is a perpetual, asymmetrical war for your attention and your emotional state. You are bombarded by inputs designed to hijack your limbic system, by demands that fracture your focus, and by a culture that equates busyness with worth. But what if your perceived biggest weakness, your reactive emotional mind, could be transformed into your greatest, most reliable strength? This journey is not about intellectual hobbyism, about memorizing a few Latin quotes to sound profound at a dinner party. It's a practical, demanding, and profoundly rewarding project of neural rewiring. We are going to lay down 10 new actionable lines of code, 10 core protocols that will overwrite the buggy, fear-based programming you've inherited. By the end of this deep dive, you will possess a complete mental framework, an internal architecture that doesn't just weather chaos, but metabolizes it into clarity, that doesn't just endure pressure, but transmutes it into genuine, directed power. You will stop being a passenger in your own nervous system and become the architect. Our first and most critical task is to master the fundamental life-altering binary, the sphere of control. This is the bedrock. Your opinions, your judgments, your focused efforts, your chosen values, your voluntary actions, and the integrity of your character. These constitute your sovereign internal territory. You are the absolute monarch here. The weather, traffic, the past, the future, other people's choices, their opinions of you, global markets, political upheaval. These are foreign lands. You may observe them, you may trade with them, but you have zero legislative authority there. The primary source of human suffering is the exhausting, futile tax we pay by trying to launch a coup in a country we can never govern. We rage against the weather of other people's moods. We despair over economic forecasts we cannot influence. We are bankrupting our finite mental and emotional energy on campaigns, destined for devastating failure. Are you right now, at this very moment, draining your reserves trying to govern a land that was never yours to rule? The practice, once understood, is both elegant and radically empowering. It is a 1-2 sequence, immediate, dispassionate classification followed by decisive, virtuous action. When a stressor, a criticism, a delay, a failure hits your awareness, your first move is not to feel, but to label. You must, with the cool detachment of a systems analyst, categorize the event. This event is external. This data point resides outside my domain. It is not a command for my internal processes. That simple cognitive act of sorting is a massive pressure release valve. It deflates the emotional charge. Then, without hesitation, you pivot your full processing power to the territory you indisputably command. You ask the only productive question. Given this external reality, what is the most virtuous, effective action available to me right now within my sphere? This pivot is the essence of true agency. You cease being a weather vane. spinning helplessly with every shift in the external wind. You become the anchor, deeply set and unshakable, providing stability not by stopping the storm, but by having a foundational integrity the storm cannot move. Peace, then, is not the childish fantasy of a life absent chaos. It is the mature, hard-won reality of maintaining a quiet, fully operational command post within the chaos itself. Code 2 in our new operating system is the practice of strategic subtraction. In the digital age, your attention is your most precious, non-renewable currency, and the default setting of modern existence is to make you hemorrhage it. We are accumulation engines, not just of physical junk that fills our closets and garages, but of mental clutter, half-formed worries, unresolved resentments, and societal shoulds and digital clutter, endless feeds, notification streams, and the shallow dopamine hits of infinite scrolling. This clutter is not passive background noise. It is parasitic. It runs silent processes that drain your RAM, slowing every other critical function. Stoic minimalism, therefore, is not an aesthetic choice about interior design. It is a ruthless security protocol. It asks one brutal, clarifying question of every possession, commitment, relationship, and even thought. Is this strictly necessary for my core purpose and my peace? If the answer is not a resounding yes, it is not neutral. It is an active leak in your focus, a vulnerability in your system. So let's make it practical. What is one minor commitment on your calendar, a meeting, a social obligation that serves no real purpose? What is one app on your phone's home screen that exists only to fragment your time? What is one belief you carry, like I must be liked by everyone, or my worth is tied to my productivity, that you can drag to the trash today? Deleting this one item frees up critical mental RAM for what truly matters. This internal audit is non-negotiable for system integrity. We must have the courage to debug the subconscious narratives and background processes running silently. These are the stories we tell ourselves. I'm not good enough. This always happens to me. I need X to be happy. Are these files true? More importantly, are they serving the mission of your best life, or are they malware? The Stoic Journal is your command line interface for this deep work. It's not a diary for recounting your day's events. It's a debug console. It's where you input the queries. What belief triggered that angry response today? What assumption is underneath my anxiety about tomorrow? And then, with conscious intent, you delete the corrupt files. This is the daily practice of moving from being a passive device, programmed by your past traumas and cultural conditioning, to becoming the active author and administrator of your future. You transition from running on inherited code to writing your own. Now, with cleaner systems and freed resources, we install the core, governing operating system, the 4 virtues firewall. Imagine this as your central processing unit's permanent security suite. It consists of 4 interdependent modules: wisdom, courage, justice, and discipline. Think of wisdom as your primary processing power, the unflinching ability to see reality, including your own biases and errors, with stark clarity. Courage is your system's integrity, the strength to execute the right action, especially when it is frightening, uncomfortable, or costly. Justice is your essential network protocol, your understanding that you are a social being with duties to others, acting with fairness, kindness, and contribution. Discipline is your system guard, the command over your own impulses, your appetites, and your focus, ensuring your resources are allocated by intention, not by whim. Every single decision you face, from what to eat for lunch to how to respond to a betrayal, must be run as a query through this 4-part filter. Is this choice wise? Does it require and express courage? Is it just to all affected? Is it disciplined? When these four virtues become your sole internal metrics for success and self-evaluation, you achieve something remarkable. You become virtually unhackable by the poison of external validation. Your sense of self-worth is no longer a cloud-based service hosted on the unreliable servers of public opinion, fleeting achievements, or material gain. It becomes locally hosted on your own secure machine, generated by the integrity of your own code. You cannot be canceled because you were never seeking their validation in the first place. This internal alignment logically boots up Code 4, the objective frame. This protocol demands that you see the world as raw data, not as personalized drama. Your mind is a masterful and often pathological storyteller. It instantly adds a layer of judgment, narrative, and emotional coloring to every bare event. The practice is to consciously strip that layer away to access the neutral fact. This traffic is a personal insult designed to ruin my day, must become the simpler, observable data. My vehicle's velocity is currently 0. My colleague is a difficult, malicious person becomes my colleague communicated critical feedback about my project. From this place of neutral, unadorned fact, you now have the freedom and space to choose a response with the precision of a surgeon. You are no longer forced into the panic of a bystander, reacting from a place of wounded narrative. Can you even begin to imagine the profound, liberating relief of no longer being held hostage by your own exaggerated and often completely fictional interpretations? The world becomes a place of manageable events, not a series of personal attacks. Fifth is the powerful counterintuitive protocol of premeditatio malorum, the deliberate, vivid rehearsal of adversity. This is proactive stress testing, not morbid pessimism. You take a few moments, preferably in a calm state, to vividly visualize what could go wrong in an upcoming situation, or to contemplate the potential loss of what you hold dear. You don't just think about it, you feel it. See the project failing, feel the pang of a loved one's absence, sit with the reality of a financial reversal. The goal is twofold: to inoculate your emotional system against the shock of misfortune, and to exponentially increase your baseline gratitude for the peaceful present. By mentally beta testing loss, you ensure that when real adversity is finally released into your live environment, it contains no catastrophic unseen bugs. The blue screen of death of despair is far less likely. Furthermore, you stop taking the quiet baseline of your life, your health, your safety, your core relationships for granted. You start seeing this ordinary state not as a default, but as the precious alpha version of a miracle you get to experience today. Sixth is the Memento Mori module, the feature that forcefully optimizes your entire system for urgency and meaning. Your time here is the most non-renewable resource you possess, and its expiration date is not only unknown but irrevocable. This is not a morbid fixation, it is the ultimate focusing tool. This code runs in the background and sharpens the execution of all other processes. It constantly asks the ultimate prompt: if today were a meaningful, self-contained segment in the limited series of my life, how would I choose to direct this episode? This singular question has the power to force quit the trivial background applications of procrastination, meaningless scrolling, and petty grievances. It compels you to audit your tabs. Are you actively allocating your most finite, precious asset, your attention seconds, toward your core, authentic mission? Or are you leaking them on distractions that, from the cosmic view, mean absolutely nothing? When a problem or a strong emotion feels all-consuming, threatening to crash your system, it's time to activate the seventh protocol, the cosmic view. This is the ultimate perspective tool. You manually perform a mental zoom out. See your life not from your chair, but from the ceiling of your room. then from the clouds above your city, then from the orbit of the planet, a pale blue dot in the vast black. From this orbital vantage point, your urgent email, your social media friction, your financial worry, even your health concern, they shrink to pixel scale against the incomprehensibly grand galactic canvas and the sweeping multi-millennial timeline of human history. This is not meant to invalidate your very real human experience. Its purpose is to provide near infinite RAM for perspective. It dissolves the ego crashes of self-importance and connects your local struggle to the vast, awe-inspiring source code of existence itself. This cosmic view is, quite simply, the most effective debug tool ever devised for the virus of anxiety. It recontextualizes everything. Eighth, we learn to reframe every single obstacle, without exception, as required and necessary training. The untrained mind sees a bug, a blocked goal, a personal conflict, and screams, "System error." The Stoic mind, running our new OS, sees the same bug and thinks with calm determination, "Ah, this is the feature. This is the exact training simulation I need." Every difficulty, every setback, is raw data provided by reality to build and stress test your specific resilience, patience, creativity, and perseverance modules. The error log is the development path. A professional setback is a unit test for your adaptability and self-worth. A personal conflict is an integration test for your empathy and communication skills. A physical limitation is a simulation for your ingenuity and acceptance. The pivotal question becomes, what specific, nameable skill or virtue does this situation uniquely demand that I can choose to build right now? With this frame, you stop reading your life as a terrifying scroll of system error messages. You start reading it as an active, exciting build log, documenting your own growth and strengthening with every challenge faced. Ninth, we must ensure our local code aligns harmoniously with nature's API, the fundamental rules of the universe. This alignment has two key layers. First, it means interfacing correctly with your own rational, social human nature, using your gift of reason to guide you, fulfilling your potential for virtue, and honoring your innate need for community and contribution. Second, and just as crucially, it means accepting the base code of the external environment. You do not rage fruitlessly against the physics engine of reality, against aging, loss, change, or the actions of others. Instead, you learn to write your elegant, effective code within its established and unchangeable parameters. You use your unique human functions of logic, choice, and virtue to navigate. A resilient tree does not scream at the wind. It uses its deep root structure and inherent flexibility to sway and endure. That tree is your operational model. Your goal is not to change the world's fundamental rules to suit your childish wants, but to operate with masterful skill and grace within the world as it actually, verifiably is. 10th, and absolutely non-negotiable for sustained growth, is the daily system review. Your day is not a blur to be forgotten. It is the live production environment where your code is executed. Each night before shutdown, you must run a quiet, honest diagnostic. You open your debug console, your journal, and you ask, where did my code execute cleanly today, aligned with wisdom, courage, justice, and discipline? Where did I encounter a runtime error, a moment of cowardice, a lapse in judgment, an act of selfishness? The goal of this review is never self-flagellation or guilt, which are themselves system errors. The goal is calm, iterative improvement. What worked and should be committed to the main branch? What's the specific patch or line of corrected code for tomorrow? What lesson did this bug reveal? This consistent 5-minute ritual compounds, like interest, into exponential personal version updates. You cease to be a passive user, buffeted by whatever the day throws at you, and you become the active, dedicated developer pushing deliberate, thoughtful commits to the project of your character every single day. Of course, all this theory is inert, useless data without real-world execution. So let's compile and load a demanding real-world scenario. Imagine the sting of a brutal, unexpected professional rejection, a promotion given to someone else, a dream job email that says no, a client who chooses a competitor. The default legacy OS immediately spirals into a catastrophic failure sequence. It spawns multiple high-priority processes of shame, I'm a fraud, anger, they're idiots, and anxious future tripping, my career is over. It consumes 100% of your emotional CPU, leaving you frozen or lashing out. Now, watch the Stoic OS. With our 10 protocols installed, initiate a clean, efficient sequence. First, the control binary protocol engages. Their hiring decision is external data. It resides on their server, not mine. I have no right access. My preparation, my effort, and my chosen response moving forward are my internal commands. I have full control here. Second, the objective frame protocol parses the data. The output was a single data point, no. The additional painful narrative of my universal unworthiness is a separate, corrupt, self-generated file. I can quarantine that file. Third, the obstacle as training protocol reframes the event. This rejection is not a system crash. It is a deliberate stress test for my resilience and adaptability modules. It is valuable feedback for debugging my approach, not a verdict on my core identity. See the profound shift? You move instantly from a state of system crash and helpless suffering to a state of strategic debug mode. The event hasn't changed, but your entire internal world has. You are back in the command seat, running diagnostics and planning the next build. This powerful mindset was never a theoretical luxury for the original architects of this system. Consider Marcus Aurelius, the most powerful man in the known world, tasked with debugging a collapsing empire through constant barbarian wars and a devastating plague that killed millions. His private journal, his meditations, was his nightly system log. He wasn't writing in a quiet library, he was in the literal data center under relentless siege, writing firewall rules for his own soul, reminders on humility, duty, and the fleeting nature of all things. His philosophy was his active, real-time intrusion detection and prevention system. Or Epictetus, a man whose physical hardware, his body, was owned as a slave. Yet he taught that while our hardware can be constrained, our source code, our will, our judgment, our character can remain open, free, and uncompromised. He taught that the most vicious malware we face is not external circumstance, but the internal viruses of fear, craving, and attachment, and that true root-level access to freedom is an internal administrative state that no external condition, no matter how severe, can ever corrupt. As the code from his compiled wisdom reminds us, the truly free individual is not the one who possesses every material object, but the one who desires nothing that lies beyond the proper administration of their own will. So where do you, right now, begin the install process? You start with the minimum viable practice, the kernel that will boot everything else. It consists of one morning prompt and one evening review. On daily boot up, as your consciousness loads, you ask the key prompt, what lies within my command today? What is my sovereign territory? Let this question guide your focus. Before system shutdown each night, you run the essential review. How did I use my authority? Where did I govern well? Where did I cede control to external events? Master this simple daily loop, intention at dawn, reflection at dusk, and all the other complex protocols will begin to auto-install and integrate seamlessly in the background. This is a lifetime of iterative updates, security patches, and version improvements. It is not a one-time download you install and forget. You will encounter bugs, days where you forget, where you react poorly, where the old legacy code seems to take over. You will experience crashes. The entire practice, the measure of your progress, is found solely in the consistency and speed of your reboot, your conscious, willful return to the clean source code again and again and again. If this entire concept resonates with something deep within you, if it sparks a sense of recognition, then your system is ready and calling for the upgrade. That very curiosity is the first necessary background process initiating. Now, you must execute the next clear command. Run one single protocol today, just one. Apply the control filter to your very first moment of frustration. Conduct the 5-minute evening review before bed. Write that first, deliberate line of new code in your own internal console. And if this comprehensive deep dive has added genuine value to your mental stack, has provided a clearer blueprint for the mind you wish to build, then please consider contributing to our shared open source repository. A single click matters. Hit the like button. That simple input directly supports our channel's growth algorithm, sending a clear signal that helps us distribute this content to more developers, engineers, and architects of their own lives, to more people like you, seeking to compile a masterpiece from within. For Stoic Mindset Mastery, I'm host name. The terminal is open. The code is before you. Now go build something unbreakable. Your future, more elegant, more resilient version is already compiling, waiting for your next commit.